Saturday, July 22nd, 2017.
Think back to the days when people didn't have cameras on all their phones. Not that long ago, right? I mean, let's go back even further, before the days of disposable cameras and film. With that in mind, would people react differently when they see a beautiful and historic landmark, like the Colosseum in Rome? The first thing people would do would not be to whip out their phones, that's for sure. Maybe people would actually look. Just look. Instead of viewing the landscape using their digital screens, instead of asking someone immediately to take a photo of you with the landscape in the background, maybe you would simply stop and stare, in the most literal sense of the phrase. All you could possibly do was bask in its eminent glory and radiate admiration from your eyes. You'd ask yourself questions like, wow, how long did this take to build? Who created this and why? And how do people react to this? Instead of wondering, what angle do I look best in? What filter would make this look better? And what time should I post this on Instagram? I wish people weren't like the latter. I wish I weren't like that, at least. I thought about it briefly in the shower a few minutes ago. Why do I take photos, especially on this trip? Why am I so excited to edit the photos of myself in Photoshop so that I can post them at the right time when my friends can all view them? Do I not take photos for myself anymore? When I was younger, my dad consistently took photos of me on all our family vacations. I never had to ask because he was already ready with his camera every time. But as I got older, I appreciated the photos less and less. I hated having to smile and look pretty in photos when in reality I was cranky and tired and unsatisfied. I also started appreciating the family vacations less and less. When I got busy with school, my mind would wander elsewhere and my priorities fell through. Away from my dad and away from the camera. So when I adopted a camera of my own, I had no idea of predicting how absorbed I would become in my photography. Whenever I witness anything that appeals to my aesthetic senses, I feel a tingling urge to bring the frame together into a cohesive image that can be captured by my camera, closed off with the perfect crop and composition. I don't find this wrong, Photography is something I really do enjoy, and it's also something that I genuinely think I have a talent in. Yet, it makes me sad knowing that I put myself through a distinct sensual experience by choosing to photograph everything I see, instead of letting myself stop and stare.
On the right is the and on the left is the...
It's 1 hour also.
I try to stop and stare every once in a while, more often than before. Yesterday, we arrived in Rome at around 11 a.m. and walked through the city for around 40 minutes to get to our apartment. The Airbnb is really modern, clean, and decorated lightly, just enough to let the sunlight bounce onto the white walls and thank the windows for letting them in. I love our little apartment.
This is too less than dinner. It's 5 per person then.
We bought groceries at the Coop next door, and it was then that I realized how fun grocery shopping can be, especially when you know that you'll be having homemade pasta, salad, and chicken and peppers for dinner later that evening. Our family dinner was super cute on Friday night. Lunch on Friday was well spent out in the city, in this area called the Jewish Ghetto. We searched for a street with kosher food just to try it out. I had spaghetti alla carbonara, which includes bacon, eggs, and cheese, which was absolutely amazing. Then we went to see the Trevi Fountain, the Pantheon, and the Spanish Steps. I'm happy that we got to do all that in a day. I'm writing in my journal right now at midnight, sitting at the wood table and reminiscing about this weekend and the entire Italy program. Today we explored the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, and the Palatine Hill. I really appreciated the juxtaposition of ancient ruins and the modern city. It's a different kind of art than Florence could provide. This is historical elegance, ancient significance hidden away in the chambers of an uncovered city. Sunday, July 23rd, 2017. I wonder if there are any existing proven psychological studies about this. How long it takes for a person to get used to a place. Do you feel used to Rome? Well, not really. But I am very used to our apartment, the Airbnb that the 6 of us lived in together for 3 days and 2 nights. I've already gotten used to taking the elevator up to the 3rd floor, manually opening both doors to the elevator and then closing them behind me, and then waiting for someone with a key to unlatch the complicated door locked to our apartment. I'm used to sleeping in the large queen-size bed with Yanni in our dark purple-themed room, and I'm used to the comfortable dark brown sofa where I can let go of the tension in my muscles and I can simply relax with the slow hum of the air conditioner cooling the sweat off my neck. I'm used to waking up in the morning and looking forward to the sizzle of the kitchen, ready to eat eggs that we bought from the coop. What I'm not used to is the city itself. Looking at a map, I realized just how large Rome really is, and it baffled me to think that we actually made it through the whole weekend without needing public transportation. We walked all over the city, especially this morning, because after breakfast, we walked over to the Vatican to get a taste of what the city district was like. By the way, the open courtyard was beautiful. I don't feel used to Rome because of the fact that I am afraid of crossing the wide cement roads in case the car won't stop. I'm not used to looking every corner and spotting ancient Roman architecture in sculpted form. I'm especially not used to the river and the bridge and the late-night carnival walks after we'd had dinner at Fish Market in Trastevere, across from the river.
I'm so far away. Mixed fish. Yeah. Whoa. Our salmon burgers came.
Wait, this table is really interesting.
My cocktail. It's called the Sunset.
Is that like Snoop Dogg is an animal?
No, it's narrating it.
Oh, really?
Wow. This is cute. As usual, we did more shopping.
You should say non-parle inglese.
But in an English
Non-parle
accent.
inglese.
Traveling to Rome felt a lot like visiting a desert, especially as you're walking through the sand and dust in the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. There was just so much history trapped within this sphere that was disguised as a modern metropolitan, and I really appreciated the beauty of all that made available for people's viewing pleasure. I'm even more grateful that I was able to travel and explore this beautiful city with friends that I love. We all made some pretty cool memories in the Colosseum. The Colosseum that I've dreamt about seeing since I've studied it in textbooks during middle school and high school. What a legendary way to spend our last overnight weekend in Italy.
Food is like so good. Oh my gosh.